Good evening. 5 weeks since the World Cup. It's been tough, but we've pulled through. And on this first programme of our new series, we have an international 11 on show. Desai, Leboeuf, Kazaragi and all beginning Chelsea's championship bid at Coventry. We'll see Charlton's first Premiership test at Newcastle. Clive Mendonca got 28 goals for them last season. What can he do at the top level? You can bet Alan Shearer will improve on his meagre 7 if he can stay free of injury this time. And back in the Premiership after 1 year with Gascoigne playing in it for the first time, Middlesbrough. They face Leeds United. Some big stories on this opening day. We have them all for you. And tonight we'll have the views of Trevor Brooking and Mark Lawrenson, and they'll be picking their team for the title, won't you? First, it's the 125-to-1 shots against the 4-to-1 third favourites for the championship. Coventry City against Chelsea. The commentary from Barry Davis.
34 days on, and 8 World Cup players have made it from the Stades de France to Highfield Road. But the headlines have been stolen by some of those who didn't get the call, not least by Chelsea's boss Gianluca Vialli, a form selection in the absence of an injured 9th World Cup player, Brian Laudrup of Denmark. Coventry stick with those tried and trusted by Gordon Strachan, their 1 World Cup signing Philippe Clement of Belgium, nursing a cracked cheekbone. The plan is to look forward, not backwards, to last season's excellent finish and 11th place, with Dion Dublin and Darren Huckabee likely to prove a test even to World Cup winners. Pierluigi Casiraghi, left behind after his goal took Italy to France, is the Chelsea manager's partner up front. Spain's Albert Ferrer makes his debut, and after a broken ankle and broken toe last season, it's a new beginning for Celestine Babayaru of Nigeria. Tore Andre Flo and Gianfranco Zola are among the substitutes. Dan Petrescu doesn't make the squad. International days are ahead for our referee today, Graham Barber of Purford in Surrey, who's just been promoted to the FIFA list. It's a lovely sunny afternoon. It is quite amazing how, with the fragmented start to a football season these days, the weather somehow seems to always get it right for the cricket season. Di Matteo, still Di Matteo! Will he be disappointed with the finish? It was a good run that had its telling moment of fortune with a ricochet. But he really should have got that shot on target. Oh, wow, being hard so early in the season. Richard Shaw was the last to challenge, and it made the difference. Poyet. So, not the best of challenges for Shaw. So, in need of attention. And it's a booking for Paul Telfer. For what was, without question, a wild challenge. First booking after 4 minutes, and he got it all wrong. Graham Lasso seemed to be asking the referee whether he had to go off, as in World Cup style, but he doesn't. He's allowed to continue immediately, and will hit the cross, which is met by Poyet. 2 good chances Chelsea have had, they've taken neither. It was a clean header. Unlike Di Matteo, the Uruguayan comes away shaking his head. simple. The partnership, which produced 38 goals last season, is up and running this. Long clearance by Marcus Hedman. Flick on by Dublin. Over the Chelsea defence, Desai in particular, and LeBeuf couldn't save the day. Huckabee opens the scoring at Highfield Road. Well, he was looking for the through ball, and he got it quite beautifully. An unchallenged Dublin ball over the head of Desai. And nothing really that LeBeuf could do about it. Shaw. Chelsea look to see where Dublin is, presumably. He's between LeBeuf and Lasso. And LeBeuf does a bit of pushing. And he'd hardly get a hair between these two. Whelan looks for Dublin, yes! Got between two defenders. Poyet thought there was a bit of pushing, but he was between Poyet and Desai. Coventry lead 2-0. The strike force in supreme form. Lovely curling free kick, but a real attack of the ball by Dion Dublin. De Huey left as a spectator. Two balls worth recording over the head of Desai. Well, so far Gordon Strachan's team, sitting alongside his chairman there, done rather better than Brazil against the central defence of France. Poyet. Oh, intercepted by Wise. Didn't quite find the shot to match the interception. But credit Hedman, he was well forward. Better. Kasiragi winning the free kick. Did nothing, forced the error from Richard Shaw by doing nothing. Vialli, it's good play. And still, but he's got a long journey to make now. Many thoughts in the mind of the player manager. Everybody really was too close for the pass, but he couldn't quite find the room for the shot. Quite what these supporters from Chelsea were expecting. Vialli, Ferrer. That's where he's at his best, Albert Ferrer. By no means a first choice for Barcelona last season. Only played the opening game of the World Cup against Nigeria when things all went wrong for Spain. So he's ready to rebuild his career in West London. And finish-wise, is booked for the delay. He went to measure out the 10 yards, the referee thought. And he wasn't going to have a player do that. That's a good challenge, Kasiragi. Best moment for the Italian to date. Nice free kick, he made up a lot of ground with a lot of determination. It's not too far over the top. Vialli. Face of innocence. Barrow's disappointed because he thought he'd got the ball. But Vialli just stood there saying, "You got me," as well. Casiraghi, Desai, Poyet, Leboeuf, and Vialli, and it's Poyet! Beautiful header. Such a graceful climb, and the direction of the header was perfect. Class goal. Player coming onto the ball. Goalkeeper didn't come to claim it, and there was a back four there who were spectators. Desai! Coventry was beautifully set up by Poyet. Just challenged by Boateng in time. Dublin, Telfer, Nielsen, Boateng. Vialli. Desai, not quite what he intended. Huckabee. Well, there's ambition for you. You've got a crack on the shin and the follow through. And we're into the last minutes. Better. Casiraghi! Oh, great save! Lovely ball in. Big smile from the Swedish goalkeeper. Ferrer, who put it on the head of Casiraghi. It's a beautifully placed header and a brilliant save. Wouldn't have stood, I don't think. Referee's given a free kick for the push. Dublin, given the time to pick somebody out. Picks out Whelan, Huckabee, good play Leboeuf. Well, certainly a lively opener, and a little bit warm in the first 10 minutes for the new French connection. These two each score once. Huckabee the first, made by Dublin, or at least the header from Dublin, who clearly has a point to make to the younger man as they come off. Dublin getting the second with his head, but Poyet putting Chelsea back in the 36th minute, and Casiraghi so close. There's a long way to go in this contest yet, but at half-time Coventry lead 2-1. This, for the record, is Coventry City's 32nd campaign at the top level since Jimmy Hill led them by a 4th, 3rd and 2nd to the top division in 1967. Only 3 clubs can boast a longer record than that. Early moments going to be a test for them, though, in the second half, I feel. Wise, Casiraghi! Barrows did well. Casiraghi hasn't had the most fortune in his opening game. Clash of heads will bring the trainers running. The goalkeeper saved well with his legs. Nicely done by Wise. Goalkeeper came to meet Kasiragi, and this is where there's the bump of heads between Burrows and Vialli. David Burrows saved the day, really, because Vialli was going to score here, I think. But they've got a player back on the line, Paul Williams. Wise to take the resulting corner. Kasiragi, Desai. Another corner. The two Coventry players thought that Desai held his man down there. Referee thought otherwise. Three in the 6-yard box, two to come from deeper. Lots of movement from Chelsea here. Leboeuf. Williams clearing header. Leboeuf again. It's well up Desai. But Hedman able to watch it. Done well, Marcus Hedman. Still knows that Steve Grizovic is ambitious for 3 more appearances at least, which would take the long-time servant of Coventry City to 600. Dublin did well. Didn't quite get the connection though. Just signed a 5-year contract, committing himself to the club. There's Mr. Chelsea, Ken Bates, sitting alongside his wife. The investment so far, but he's been investing in the club for years and not always is given credit for it. Burrows. Out by Leboeuf. Di Matteo. Babayaro. Nice one-touch stuff. It looks great when it comes off. Kasiragi. Vialli does well to come back and claim. Wise. I would have thought that was a free kick, but the referee didn't think so. And here's Boateng and Ferrer. The Spaniard did enormously well then because he was fouled. Lusso. Di Matteo. Wise. Yes, it's got through Burrows to Vialli. Babayaro up. Telling touch by Hedman. Chelsea suggesting that the equaliser is not far away, but they've been suggesting that for some little time. Desai with a French launch. Ferrer. He's on patrol, but in a very quiet manner. Kasiragi. Boyens. Kasiragi! Really good play. Pass to Poyet, return, instant shot. Truly struck and very well saved. Leboeuf. Dublin did well. Some good captaincy here. Wise to take. Poyet the first to move. Well. One or two anxious faces already. 5 minutes remaining. Plus stoppage time. Coventry 2, Chelsea 1. At least 80% of the play is right to left. Desai, Zola. Don't think he had a clear view of that head, but the body was in the way. The hand certainly couldn't find it. Onto his left, which was surely expected. Low in front of the goalkeeper. Leboeuf inside the 6-yard box. Poyet trying to find some room. Out by Hedman. Rather palmed away, but Poyet couldn't keep it down. Bit of a contrast. Up by Flo. Poyet. Better! Excellent block again, and it's David Burrows once more. How often has he got his body in the way? Zola to take. Burrows to clear. 3-on-2. Huckabee just determined to keep possession and failing. Leboeuf. Oh, that's a promising ball. Poyet! Superbly flighted off the outside of his boot. Not perhaps appreciated by every Scotsman in the ground. Ferrer. Oh no, the hurry! Dublin! Final whistle has gone. Gordon Strachan starts with a victory. 4 seasons running, the Coventry City have beaten Chelsea in this opening fixture. Dion Dublin made one, scored one. Huckabee got the other, the first of the match. And in the end, Poyet's classic header, not enough to save Marcel Desailly and the Chelsea new and old. But even so, signs from this Chelsea team that they're going to be a team to watch. They had so many chances and so much possession, but all credit to Gordon Strachan's side. Final score, Coventry City 2, Chelsea 1.
The reaction to the game is, again, that we had a system that we try to play. And I said to you before the game that whatever happens, I know I can trust the players on the pitch that will give me everything. And again, you've seen today that the team spirit, I mean, people talk about other clubs and team spirit. I think our team spirit's as good as anybody's. Today we knew, as you walk onto the pitch, we knew we were playing against better quality players. So for that, we have got to work harder than them. And they made it so hard because they're top players. They worked hard as well. So we had to go to extremes today to get the result. And I thought in the first half we were excellent, absolutely excellent. You wouldn't say that we had the quality of play that they've got, because it's impossible to us to turn players into world-class players overnight. So we've done extremely well.
Disappointing. I thought we played some good stuff, created a lot of chances, and yet, you know, we fell for the sucker punch twice, really. It's not as if we didn't know of Dublin's power in the air, or Huckabee's going on for the flicks. So we were asleep. We'd known for five weeks we were going to start today at 3 o'clock, and we started about 3:15, I think. So it's disappointing.
They've got a good set of lads here. We're working hard. Everybody works for each other. We trust each other, and it's a good feeling to be part of it. You know, I think there's bright things ahead for the club, and today's a good start for us.
We show good spirit. We show physically we are almost ready, and I really hope we'll be more tuned in the first 20 minutes next game.
We're pleased to be here.
Sure, no problem. You see, I left AC Milan, but I was really happy to come in Chelsea. New experience. I'm here for winning. You know, I'm a guy with how do you say? I have to win. If I don't win, I don't feel great. That's why I came here to come back in high level.
Well, it was poor away form that cost Chelsea any championship bid last year, Mark, and here they go again right at the start.
Yeah, I think as Graham Rick said, they were asleep for the first 15 or 20 minutes. But the thing is now, if you sign all the big-name players, you become a big scalp. They are definitely the glamour team in the league. And, of course, people like Loud weren't even playing today, Petrescu, Dewberry, Zola, Flo, all on the bench. And I think Gordon Strachan got it absolutely right when he said, you know, you've got to work so hard to beat them. And that's exactly what Coventry did.
Now, what about Desai? You weren't alone in thinking he was the best defender in the entire World Cup, but he started a bit slowly today.
Well, when you consider his last game was against Ronaldo in Brazil, and then today, here we got him circled, and he's got Huckabee exactly where he wants him. You know that Dublin's just going to flick it on, and for some reason, I'm sure, certainly, that Desai must have been told by Graham Ricks that Huckabee is very, very quick. He fell asleep. Leboeuf can't quite make the clearance, and it was Route 1 football, but it was a good way to play for Coventry. This is a free kick, second goal, and it's all about purpose and power and poise for Dublin, and he gets himself in front of Desai. And talking about Dublin, he was outstanding today. He's easily Coventry's best player, whether he's playing up front or he's playing at the back. Here he is, back defending. Good decision-making, just clear it for a corner, we can reorganise. Couple of minutes to go. You know, your first game, you've worked very, very hard, you're at home, you can see the 3 points looming. Who's playing in left side centre-back? It's Dublin. Doesn't panic, takes it away from Desai, just uses his strength. And I just think that, you know, that the best thing that Coventry have done in the pre-season is signing him for 5 years, because he can play up front, he can play at the back, and today he led by example.
Chelsea did look good at times today, and in Casiraghi they got a guy who looks as though he will definitely get goals for them this season. Yes, he looks well suited to the Premiership because he's very, very strong, he's powerful in the air as well, and he is pacing. This is a free kick from Wise, and he does very well here in just attacking the ball, gets himself in front of his marker. It was very unfortunate not to make it 1-1 at that stage. Again here, Ferreira in possession. Body language of Casiraghi, played in there, I'll get on the end of it. And it was a marvellous header. It was such a difficult skill from that ball. And a marvellous save by Hedman. Again here, when the ball gets flicked out, he waits and waits and waits. He's on the shoulder of the last defender. Uses his body strength, in position. He should have scored. On a better day, Casiraghi would probably get you a hat-trick. And again, he still wasn't finished then. Here the ball gets played into him. Off his marker, good first touch, has a little look, where's it going? It's going into Poyet. I'll wait and wait and wait. There's a run, you played in there for me. And again, Hedman denied him. But certainly, on today's performance, he looks a good buy. But of course, the question really is, I mean, who's he going to play with? Is it Vialli? Is it going to be Flo? Is it going to be Zola? Chelsea have got a problem that way. All of them at some time or another, I would think. Yeah, but not in the same team. No. Coventry finished in a comfortable mid-table position last season. What do you expect from them this time? Well, I think the proof of the pudding really is that no one's ever mentioned that they're going to be relegated or they're going to be in the shuffle at the bottom. So that's the first thing. I think Strachan's done very, very well. He's been well backed by Mr. Richardson and the board. They've given him lots of money. And I think realistically, mid-table, if not pushing for a UEFA spot. And Dublin the main man. Right, well, before our next feature game, a quick look at Manchester United, joint title favourites with Arsenal, of course. They were up against Leicester City, who won at Old Trafford last season. Steve Lee now reports.
With £10 million man Jaap Stam in place, we waited for a new, improved United defence. What we got was déjà blue. Leicester City again trampling on reputations at Old Trafford. Emil Heskey, a muscular menace. Stam and co were given a torrid time. And with 6 minutes gone, Leicester City took a deserved lead. Muzzy Izzet scampering along the byline. Emil Heskey on hand to score off the underside of the bar. A repeat of City's victory here in January was looking distinctly possible. With United backpedalling, City might have had more, but the less said about Tony Cotte's finish, the better. United only briefly flickered into meaningful action. David Beckham shot testing Casey Keller in the Leicester goal. At half-time, the ineffectual Stam, suffering from a thigh strain, was replaced by Henning Berg. But United's day was going from bad to worse. Robbie Savage supplying the aerial ammunition, Tony Cotte with the finish. It looked game over for United. But they somehow clawed their way back into the match. A sloppy back pass from Robbie Savage saw Andy Cole nip in, but his shot was pushed round the post. Frustration all round. From the corner, United at last got the breakthrough they were looking for. Beckham's pile driver headed goalwards by Teddy Sheringham. Seen again, it's a deft touch by Sheringham. With time running out, United search for an equaliser. Referee Neil Barry went off with cramp. Alex Ferguson on hand with his wristwatch. Three minutes into injury time, David Beckham answered all his critics with a perfectly placed free kick. United had their point, but their manager was still fuming about the first half performance.
Oh, it was terrible defending. In fact, the first 20 minutes were really so sluggish and lethargic, and Leicester put us through the mill, and you have to give them credit for that. But it took us 30 minutes to get any momentum going.
I thought first half we were fantastic and deserved to get in front and played some really delightful stuff. We obviously got tired, but just at a time when we thought, well, Man United might force an equaliser, we go and make it 2-0.
Right at the end, as David Beckham went to take that free kick, did you think to yourself he could do it?
We had a chance because the referee got them the ball pushed back the records at 10 yards, which gave him an opportunity to make sure he got over, but also to place it. But he got the ball the right distance from him, and thereby was able to keep it down well.
So Trevor Beckham got the point for them. He doesn't look too overburdened with self-doubt following his problems with the World Cup.
The shoulders weren't sagging too much, I don't think. I mean, he had the long-range shot for the header from Sheringham. A good free kick. I mean, the way to answer any critics, I mean, he's taken his share of criticism, but he signed a new contract, he's got his compensations, I'm sure, and, you know, he looked full of confidence, and the best way, as I say, is to play well on the pitch, and that's what he's got to do.
His overall performance was excellent, despite apart from the free kick.
Yeah, I think it's an important year for Manchester United, not to end up with a trophy last year, and then, you know, the disappointment, perhaps, players, youngsters like David Beckham in the England lineup, you know, they want to try and prove a point this year, and he is a key player, whether he's out wide on the right or in the centre, and of course the same for England. So it's a big season for him.
Thank you. Well, now to two teams who ended last season at Wembley. Newcastle losing in the cup final, Charlton Athletic winning that fantastic battle against Sunderland to regain top division status after a gap of 8 years. John Motson was at St James's Park.
Here in the northeast, they remind you it could have been Newcastle versus Sunderland at St James's Park today, but the heroic performances of Clive Mendonca with his hat-trick in the playoff final and goalkeeper Sasha Ilic with that dramatic penalty save at Wembley mean that it's Charlton who enter the elevated world of the Premiership to play in front of packed houses like this. 99% of Newcastle's 35,000 season ticket holders renewed their seats in spite of last season's disappointments, and they have a potential waiting list of up to 20,000. So now they've decided to stay at their spiritual home. Work has started on 2 of the stands to increase the capacity to 52,000 in 2 years' time. So much for the crowd. Now what about the team? Well, Kenny Dalglish keeps faith with 9 of the men who figured in the FA Cup final. The newcomers are number 16, Laurent Charvet, a Frenchman who was on loan to Chelsea last season, and in midfield, number 12, Dietmar Hamann, the German World Cup regular. The French World Cup striker, Stéphane Guibache, has an ankle injury. David Batty is suspended. Charlton parade 3 summer signings. Number 3, Chris Powell from Derby County, a Londoner by birth. Number 4, Neil Redfern, who played here twice for Barnsley last season. And number 9, Andy Hunt, top scorer at West Brom and a former Newcastle player. Kenny Dalglish's first match in charge of Newcastle was against Charlton. An FA Cup replay here. And his opposite number, Alan Kirbishley, there, might just remember scoring his first league goal against Newcastle. That was 23 years ago when he was 17. Dermot Gallagher of Banbury is the referee. Set aside now all talk of a Super League. We've already got one. It's called the FA Carling Premiership, and the 9-month roller coaster ride starts right here. Charlton, the newcomers in red shirts and white shorts. Newcastle with plenty to prove in the familiar stripes. Stuart Pearce to Steve Watson. Here's Rob Lee, still captain. And there goes Andreas Andersson, marked by Richard Rufus. Testing time for Charlton early on, and there goes Shearer, no bigger test than to face him on the opening day. Both these clubs finished the season at Wembley in widely different circumstances. Charlton's fairy tale now well documented under Alan Kirbishley. Hamann over on the right-hand side. Here comes Shearer. There is Shearer, and there is Shearer off the line. Only 6 minutes gone, and Alan Shearer denied purely by a goal line clearance. Made his own opening here, Shearer. Shakes off two defenders in typical boisterous style, bustles through, and it's number 2, Danny Mills, who's covering for his keeper. Now, down on the touchline, Dermot Gallagher is changing his shirt. The new blue kit that was issued to referees, which was delivered to his dressing room when he arrived this morning, the striped effect of it, very similar to the Newcastle shirts. This one's a bit darker. Good touch by Shearer to speed. Anderson wants it played early into the centre, but Mills is harassing speed quite successfully, as it turned out. Pearce. Now Shearer's in the centre. Oh, Watson's coming up on the outside here. It's a corner. Rob Lee will take it, and we might keep an eye on not just Shearer, but Dabizas, who hit the bar in the cup final from a corner. Carries speed, also useful. Oh, and Dabizas has taken one in the face. He's gone down holding his face and pointing, and there's been an incident in the area off the ball. And now he's arguing with Powell. And Dermot Gallagher must talk to Rufus, I think, who was involved in the first incident. It's red. And on the opening day of their Premiership campaign, the newcomers Charlton are reduced to 10 men. The others are arguing about it. But number 5, Richard Rufus, has been shown the red card. And this is why. And Dermot Gallagher, who was suspended last season, somewhat harshly, I felt, by the Premier League for not sending a player off in a given situation, has shown the first red card of the season at St James's Park. Newcastle will now take the corner again. And speed is up. And Charlton Athletic are down to 10 men on their Premiership debut. It is said, of course, that it can be harder to play against 10 men, but anyway, here's Alan Shearer taking on 2 of them. Watson. Hamann. It's Watson backing up. Dabizas. Well, that was so low, he could almost have volleyed it. Went for the diving header from Watson's cross, which went over quite a few heads before Dabizas, well, virtually at ground level. Kinsella for Charlton, collected that well. Three minutes of stoppage time already played here. And that's the last action, or lack of it, in the first half. And Dermot Gallagher at the centre of an incident in the 26th minute, which led to Richard Rufus being sent off for striking Dabizas in the face, or certainly an arm that made contact. And that red card gives Charlton the headache of playing the rest of the match with 10 men. Well, as the start of the second half, Dabizas, the man who was involved in the sending off incident, has not come out. He's been replaced